My cardiologist, a very good one, looked at my tests, patted me on the shoulder, and said, "Harold, you have the heart of a 40-year-old." That was in the morning. That night, I woke up in a cold sweat, my heart hammering against my ribs. It wasn't pain. It was a chilling, absolute certainty, that I was about to die. That an enemy was growing inside of me, and it was winning. My friends, this is the greatest pain of our generation. Not the disease itself. But it's silent. It's that feeling that something is wrong, a ticking time bomb inside your chest, while the whole world and modern medicine tell you, you're perfectly fine. It's the fear that one day, you'll just collapse, and become a burden to the very people you love most. That enemy has a name. It's soft plaque. And it's the silent killer responsible for half of all sudden heart attacks. It won't show up on a standard EKG. Your cholesterol can be perfect. But it's still there, waiting. But today, we are not going to talk about fear. Today, we are going to talk about hope. I am here to tell you that this killer, before it strikes, always leaves behind traces. It has its own signatures. And I am going to teach you how to become a detective, how to read its 5 signatures. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because the 5th signature, a tiny crease in your earlobe, is a clue that 99% of people, including many doctors, outright ignore. It's the key for you to act before it's too late. This isn't just a video. This is a treasure map. And at the end of this map isn't gold. It's something far more precious, years of healthy, peaceful life with your family, and the power to reverse plaque buildup. So be honest with me, and with yourself. Are you carrying that vague worry, that sense that something is wrong that you just can't name? If you are, don't just watch. Join me. Write 2 words in the comments below, "I'm here." It's more than a comment. It's a declaration. A statement that you are ready to listen, and ready to act. So I know I'm not talking to myself here. Thank you. Now, turn off all the distractions around you. Our journey begins, with a secret hidden in your smile. Every morning, millions of us stand before the mirror, performing a familiar ritual. Brushing our teeth. And then, we spit. We see a tinge of pink in the sink. And what do we think? I must have brushed too hard. It must be the new toothbrush. We rinse the pink away and forget about it in 5 seconds. But what if I told you today that this pink tinge isn't a dental problem? What if it was a single teardrop from your heart? Welcome back. This is silent sign number 1, frequent gum inflammation and bleeding gums. I know you've heard your dentist talk about it. But they talk about cavities and tartar. I am here to talk about a much more dangerous truth that few dare to mention. The condition of your gums is a mirror, reflecting exactly what is happening inside your artery walls. Imagine this, your body is fighting a smoldering fire, known as chronic inflammation. This fire is fed every single day by something called insulin resistance. A condition where your body no longer uses sugar efficiently, leaving it to float in your blood like lit matchsticks. These matchsticks travel everywhere, and they cause the fire to flare up in the weakest places. Your gums, with their countless tiny blood vessels, are one of those vulnerable spots. So, that pink you see isn't from brushing too hard. It is proof that the internal fire has begun to break through to the outside. When I was younger, I ignored it too. My doctor said, "It's just old age, Harold." But my heart knew something was wrong. I felt dismissed. I felt like my worries weren't being taken seriously. That feeling, my friends, is worse than the disease itself. It's not just about blood in the sink. It's the sign of a broken promise, the promise to stay healthy, to be a pillar of support for your children and grandchildren, to not be a burden to anyone. Every one of those drops is a reminder of how fragile that promise is. But today, we are here to mend that promise. By understanding that taking care of our gums isn't just for a beautiful smile. It is to put out the fire before it burns down the entire house of our cardiovascular health. Now, I'd like you to do something very small for me. After hearing this, are you starting to see bleeding gums in a completely different way? If yes, please comment with the number 1 below. If no, please comment with the number 2. There are no wrong answers. I just want to know if these words from my heart are reaching yours. Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves. Because the next sign is even more silent. It is a silence that comes from your own 2 feet. Can you believe it? There was a time I used to hate summer. Because summer meant my wife would make me wear shorts. And I didn't like that. My legs, when I was young, were as hairy as a forest. It didn't look very proper. But now, many of my friends my age joke that one of the perks of getting older is that we save money on razors. Our legs suddenly become strangely smooth, bare. We think it's a sign of aging. We accept it. But what if I told you, it's not age? It's a warning. A desert that is slowly forming, because the river of life that feeds it is drying up. Welcome to silent sign number 2, slow, unexplained hair loss on the shins, ankles, and toes. Let me explain this with an image that I believe you will never forget. Picture your cardiovascular health as a giant tree of life. The heart is the root system, drawing in nutrients. The main arteries are the strong trunk. And the tiny blood vessels that go to our feet, our hands, and our brain. They are the leaves at the very end of the furthest branches. When the root system, the heart, and the trunk, the arteries, start to have problems, when the flow of life, blood, is weakened by plaque buildup, what suffers first? Not the trunk. It's the leaves at the farthest ends. The hair follicles on your legs are exactly like those leaves. They need to be bathed in oxygen-rich blood to survive. When the blood flow weakens, they are the first to die, silently and quietly. This is an early sign of peripheral artery disease, PAD. The issue isn't just about a few hairs. It's about what it means. These legs, they have carried you all over the world. They carried you to your spouse. They held your children. They ran with your grandchildren. They are the symbol of your freedom, your independence. The fact that they are slowly falling silent is a warning that this freedom is under threat. That your tree of life needs to be cared for from the roots up. Don't wait until you feel pain when you walk. Don't wait until you can no longer go the distance. Listen to their whispers now. Now, I want you to take a second and honestly look down at your legs. Have you noticed this change over the past few years? If yes, please help me by commenting with the number 3. If no, please comment with the number 4. Remember, this is not for judgment. This is for our shared awareness. To start taking action. Thank you for your honesty. Now, prepare yourself for a sign that is even more subtle. It cannot be seen with the naked eye, but the watch on your wrist might be screaming about it every single night. This is probably one of the greatest gifts technology has given our generation, isn't it? A little companion on our wrist, always encouraging us to walk more, to be more active. We celebrate when we hit our step goals. We feel like we've done something good for our cardiovascular health. We look at that number, 10,000, and we feel reassured. But what if I told you today that the 2 most important numbers on this watch, the 2 numbers that could save your life, are 2 numbers that most of us never even look at? And the tragedy is, one of those numbers keeps creeping up, while the other keeps falling, creating a symphony in reverse that signals danger. Welcome to silent sign number 3, an inseparable pair, which is a gradually rising resting heart rate and a gradually falling heart rate variability, HRV. Let me explain this most simply. Think of your resting heart rate like the sound of a car's engine when it stopped at a red light. A healthy, efficient engine will run very quietly, at a low RPM. But if the engine starts to rev higher, working harder just to stand still, that's a sign it's in trouble. Your heart is the same. If it has to beat faster while you are at rest, it means the engine of your body is under some kind of invisible pressure. And then we have heart rate variability, HRV. This number is even more magical. Imagine your nervous system is a symphony orchestra. HRV is the skill of the conductor. A great conductor can flexibly lead the orchestra to be fast, slow, majestic, or gentle, adapting perfectly to any situation. A high HRV score means your conductor is very skilled, your body is flexible and recovers well from stress. But when your HRV score gradually drops, it means your conductor is becoming rigid and tired. The orchestra can only play a few repetitive notes. Your body is stuck in fight or flight mode, unable to relax and repair itself. And here is the most important part. That invisible pressure or that rigid fatigue is the chronic inflammation and insulin resistance that is ravaging your body from the inside. It explains why you always feel tired despite getting enough sleep. Why do you get irritable for no reason? Why do you feel like your mind is never truly at peace? Your body, though it may look calm on the outside, is screaming in silence on the inside. And your watch is recording that scream. I want to ask you something, honestly. Do you wear a smartwatch or a fitness tracker? And do you regularly check these two numbers? If yes, I do track them, please comment with the number 5. If no, this is the first time I'm paying attention, please comment with the number 6. This awareness is the very first step. It's okay if you never knew about it before. Because today, we have learned something new together. And now, we will move on to a sign that many gentlemen are silently suffering through alone. A confession that is hard to make, but is one of the earliest and clearest warnings of all. In a relationship that lasts for decades, there are silent promises. Not the grand vows from a wedding day, but the promise to make a cup of tea for each other every morning. The promise to watch an old movie together. The promise of a held hand on an evening walk. And the promise of intimacy. An invisible thread that connects two souls. But what happens when one day, your body seems to betray that silent promise? What happens when there is an awkward silence, an invisible distance created, not because the love has faded, but because the body no longer obeys the commands of the heart and mind? Welcome. We are going to talk about silent sign number 4, perhaps the most misunderstood sign of all, erectile dysfunction, or ED. Now, gentlemen, I know what you might be thinking. Shame. Frustration. A feeling that you've lost a part of yourself. Many of us have silently endured this burden alone for years. We go to the doctor, and we are often given a little blue pill, a temporary fix for a problem that is dismissed as an issue of aging or a man's problem. But I am here today to tell you a truth that could save your life. In most cases, ED is not a problem of virility. It is a problem of plumbing. It is a blood flow issue. Allow me to use this image. Imagine the arteries that supply down there are as small as irrigation canals in a garden. Meanwhile, the coronary arteries that feed your heart are a mighty river. When plaque buildup begins, when silt and mud start to clog the flow, where will be affected first? Not the mighty river, but the tiny irrigation canals. The silence in your bedroom is the earliest, clearest warning sign that the mighty river is in danger. It can appear years, even a decade, before a heart attack. It is not a failure. It is a golden opportunity. Your body is giving you a warning in the least dangerous place, so you have time to make repairs before disaster strikes in the most dangerous place. Taking action is not just about restoring intimacy. It's so you can continue to be here, healthy, to fulfill all the other silent promises with your partner, for many years to come. After hearing me share this, do you agree that this isn't just a man's problem, but is a critical health sign that all of us, men and women, need to take seriously? If you agree, please help me by commenting with the number 7. If you're not sure, please comment with the number 8. Your understanding is our strength. And now, prepare for the final sign. A mystery that astonished even me when I first learned of it. A clue etched right onto our bodies, in a place no one would ever expect. Before I reveal the final sign, I want to invite you to do a very small thing with me. A little experiment, right here, right now. Please, try to do as I do. Use your index finger and your thumb, and gently feel your earlobe. Now, if you can, go to a mirror. Or simply use the front-facing camera on your phone. Look at it very closely. What are you looking for? You are looking for a crease. A diagonal fold that runs from your ear canal down towards the edge of your earlobe. If you see it, then congratulations. You have just found one of the best kept, and most controversial, secrets in cardiovascular medicine. Welcome to silent sign number 5, the diagonal earlobe crease, known in the medical world as Frank's sign. It's incredible, isn't it? How can a wrinkle on the ear be related to our cardiovascular health? Let me explain with this final image. Imagine your earlobe is like a delicate piece of tissue paper. It is nourished by a network of microscopic blood vessels, called the microvasculature. When your entire vascular system, due to the effects of chronic inflammation and high blood sugar, begins to become brittle and less flexible, that damage shows up most clearly on the most delicate structures. That piece of tissue paper gets a permanent fold creased into it. This crease doesn't cause pain, but it is a signature. A message from your microvasculature that it is being damaged. And if the tiny blood vessels in your ear are damaged, then it is very likely that the tiny blood vessels feeding your heart are in a similar state. Do you see? Our body is a masterpiece. It tells us stories through the pink tinge in the sink. It signals through the silence on our legs. It sends messages through the numbers on our watch. It confesses through the quiet in the bedroom. And it carves a clue right onto our earlobes. It is not a death sentence. It is a treasure map. And today, we have learned how to read that map together. Now, after checking for yourselves, I am very curious to know your results. If, yes, you found this crease on your ear, please help me by commenting with the number 9. If, no, you did not see it, please comment with the number 10. And if, you are not sure, that's okay, please comment with the number 11. Let's see how many people in our community carry this special signature. Thank you all so much. 5 signs have been revealed. 5 whispers have been heard. But this is not the end. This is the very beginning. In the next part, we will stop talking about problems. We will start talking about solutions. About Harold's revival plan. I know how you're feeling right now. Perhaps a little overwhelmed. A little confused. And maybe, a little scared. 5 signs, 5 warnings, they feel like 5 ghosts that just floated through your mind. And you might be thinking that, for the past 20 minutes, I have given you 5 reasons to be worried. But you are mistaken. I did not give you 5 reasons to be afraid. I gave you 5 keys. Welcome back. The 5 signs we just went through are not 5 death sentences. There are 5 keys for you to unlock 5 doors, to go deeper inside and truly understand your own body. And once you have the keys in your hand, you need a map. Today, I will give you that map. I call it Harold's Revival Plan. This is not a punishing diet. Not an exhausting workout routine. That is not how we do things. The philosophy of the Revival Plan is simple: we do not declare war on our body. We make peace with it. Remember that the smoldering fire we talked about. You cannot put out a fire by adding more fuel, stress, bad food, lack of sleep. You can only put it out by taking away its fuel source and dousing it with the water of healing. The revival plan is that water. It is a step-by-step path that helps you clear the fire starters from your plate. Awaken your sleeping muscles so they can help you manage blood sugar. Reset the natural rhythm of your sleep so your body has time to repair itself. And most importantly, soothe your nervous system, which is as taut as a violin string. The ultimate goal isn't just to reverse plaque buildup. It's for you to wake up every morning feeling light and full of energy. So you can confidently run and play with your grandchildren without getting out of breath. So you can be a full partner, a true companion. So you can look in the mirror and see someone who is the master of their health, not its victim. It's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. So, my question for you now is simple. Now that you have the 5 keys in your hand, do you want to receive this map? Are you ready to put the first key in the lock? If you feel, I am ready, let me know by commenting with the number 12. If you feel, I need a little more time to think, that's perfectly okay, please comment with the number 13. Your honesty is the most important thing. Thank you. And in the final, most important part, we will open that map together, one step at a time. When I was a boy, my father, who was a carpenter, taught me a lesson I have never forgotten. One day, we were fixing an old, peeling wall. With the eagerness of youth, I was about to use a beautiful new coat of paint to cover up the cracks. My father put his hand on my shoulder, shook his head, and said, "Son, you cannot fix a rotting wall by slapping a new coat of paint on it. The paint might hide the problem for a week or a month. But sooner or later, the wall will crumble. You must scrape off the old paint, repair the foundation, and reinforce the frame. Only then does the new coat of paint truly mean something." My friends, our health is exactly like that wall. Sleeping pills, blood pressure medication, painkillers, they are often just new coats of paint. They might make us feel better for a moment. But they do not fix the foundation that is rotting from the inside due to chronic inflammation and insulin resistance. The revival plan I am about to share is not about painting. It is about rebuilding from the ground up. It is based on the 4 essential pillars of a strong house of health. The first pillar, nourish the foundation. This is the food you put into your body. You don't have to change everything. Start with just one thing, each day, try to remove one white thing from your plate. It could be sugar, white rice, or white bread. Just one thing. The second pillar, reinforce the frame. This is movement. Don't think about the gym. Think about taking a 10-minute walk after dinner. This small act miraculously helps your muscles soak up excess blood sugar. The third pillar, the nightly repair crew. This is your sleep. Sleep is when the body repairs the wall and cleans up the debris. Try turning off the TV and phone 30 minutes before bed. Let your mind be quiet. The fourth pillar, the peace of the home. This is your state of mind. Every day, set aside 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. Sit still, close your eyes, and breathe deeply and slowly. Tell your nervous system, everything is okay. You are safe. 4 pillars. 4 small actions. They don't require money. They only require your choice. The choice to rebuild your house, instead of just painting over it. And to help you on this journey, my team has created a small gift. It's a PDF called Harold's Revival Checklist, summarizing these 5 signs and 4 pillars. You can download it for free at the link right in the description below the video. Before we finish, I want to ask you one final question. Of the 4 pillars I've just shared, nourish, reinforce, repair, and peace, which pillar do you feel you need to start with the most, beginning today? Please help me by commenting with the corresponding number. 14 for food. 15 for movement. 16 for sleep. 17 for mind. Choose one and start there. Don't try to do it all at once. Thank you for spending your precious time listening to my story. Remember, you are the carpenter, the architect of your own house of health. I'm Harold. And I believe in your journey. I wish you a healthy heart and a life lived to the fullest. See you next time.